Have you ever walked into a room, stopped, and thought, wait, why did I come in here? Or maybe you've gone to the kitchen to grab something, only to forget what it was the moment you opened the fridge door. If that sounds familiar, don't worry, you're not alone. After 60, many of us notice little lapses in memory. Sometimes it's small things, like misplacing our glasses, and other times it can be forgetting a name that used to roll right off the tongue. It can feel frustrating, even a little scary, but here's the good news: memory loss is not something we have to simply accept as part of aging. In fact, there are simple daily habits you can start right now that can keep your brain sharp, focused, and active well into your golden years. Think of your brain like a muscle. Just like our legs get stronger when we walk every day, and our arms get toned when we lift even light weights, the brain also thrives on exercise. It needs stimulation, nourishment, and care to keep performing at its best. And the best part? It doesn't take complicated routines or fancy programs to protect your memory. With a few small changes, practiced consistently, you can build a stronger, sharper mind. So today, we're going to talk about 5 simple brain habits you can do every single day. These habits are practical, enjoyable, and designed to help you stay independent, confident, and full of life. Let's dive in, starting with the first one. One of the most powerful daily habits for your brain is to challenge it with something new. You see, the brain loves novelty. When we try something unfamiliar, whether it's learning a new word, solving a puzzle, or picking up a fresh hobby, our brain forms new connections between its cells. This process is like giving your memory a little workout. For example, if you usually read the newspaper, try doing the crossword puzzle or Sudoku on the side. If you've never played a musical instrument, spend 10 minutes experimenting with a keyboard or guitar. Even something as simple as brushing your teeth with your non-dominant hand can spark new activity in your brain. Think about it this way: if you drive the same road every single day, it becomes routine. You don't even notice the scenery after a while. But if you take a new route, suddenly your attention sharpens. You notice the houses, the trees, and the people in a way you wouldn't otherwise. Your brain works the same way, it craves fresh challenges. And the beauty is, you don't have to spend hours on it. Just a few minutes of doing something new each day adds up to a big difference over time. Now, while challenging your brain is essential, what you feed it matters just as much. That brings us to the second daily habit: nourishing your brain with the right foods. Our brains are hungry organs, they use a surprising amount of energy every day. And just like a car runs better on premium fuel, your memory runs better when you give your brain the nutrients it needs. Think of foods like blueberries, walnuts, salmon, and leafy greens as brain boosters. They're full of antioxidants and healthy fats that protect your brain cells from damage and keep them communicating smoothly. If blueberries feel too fancy or expensive, don't worry, even simple everyday foods like apples, carrots, and beans play their part. And here's a tip: instead of focusing on cutting things out, think about adding good things in. For instance, sprinkling a handful of nuts onto your breakfast or swapping white bread for whole grain is an easy upgrade. Even drinking enough water can make a world of difference, because dehydration, even a little bit, can make you feel foggy or forgetful. Let me give you a simple example. Imagine 2 people starting their day. One skips breakfast and sips coffee, maybe grabbing a sugary snack later. The other takes a few extra minutes to have oatmeal with fruit and nuts, plus a glass of water. By mid-morning, the first person feels drained and distracted, while the second feels energized and focused. Over time, those small choices add up, and the second person's brain stays sharper, longer. That's how powerful food can be for your memory. Now, before we move on, I want to remind you of something important: protecting your memory doesn't mean huge life changes overnight. It's not about perfection, it's about consistency. Doing small, intentional things every day has a far greater impact than doing something big once in a while. So even if you start with 1 crossword puzzle a week or add 1 new fruit to your diet, you're already taking steps toward a healthier, sharper mind. So far, we've talked about stimulating the brain with new challenges and nourishing it with healthy food. Both of these habits create a strong foundation for memory. But there's another daily practice that is just as powerful, one that often gets overlooked, and that's staying socially connected. Staying socially connected may not sound like a brain exercise at first, but it is one of the most effective ways to keep your memory strong. When you spend time with other people, whether it's chatting with a neighbor, calling a friend, or even talking to the cashier at the grocery store, your brain lights up in powerful ways. Social interaction forces you to listen, think, respond, and sometimes even recall stories or details from your past. It's like a mental gym session, but instead of lifting weights, you're lifting conversations. Think back to a time when you met someone new and they asked you about your life. Maybe you told them about where you grew up, or shared a funny story about your kids or grandchildren. While you were talking, you were actually doing something incredible for your brain. You were recalling memories, organizing them in your head, and expressing them clearly. That whole process is like a workout for your memory. And the more you do it, the sharper you stay. Now, I know for some people, social interaction becomes harder with age. Friends move away, family gets busy, or health challenges make it more difficult to get out. But staying connected doesn't have to mean big gatherings or long phone calls. It can be as simple as joining a local book club, attending a community center activity once a week, or calling one person you care about just to say hello. Even short, meaningful conversations can make a difference. Loneliness, on the other hand, has been shown to increase the risk of memory decline. So think of social connection not just as something nice to have, but as medicine for your mind. And speaking of medicine for your mind, let's talk about another daily habit that is absolutely essential: movement. Yes, physical exercise isn't just for your body, it's one of the most powerful tools for your brain as well. When you move your body, your heart pumps more blood, carrying oxygen and nutrients to your brain. This improves concentration, sharpens memory, and even helps grow new brain cells. It's like giving your mind a fresh dose of energy every time you move. The great thing is, you don't need to run marathons or lift heavy weights to see the benefits. Gentle, consistent movement is more than enough. A brisk 20-minute walk, a light stretch in the morning, or even dancing to your favorite music in the living room can all do wonders for your memory. Think about it. When was the last time you put on a song you loved from years ago and let yourself sway to the rhythm? Not only does it get your body moving, but the music itself can unlock old memories and bring them rushing back in the most joyful way. Here's another perspective. Imagine your brain as a garden. Exercise is like watering that garden, keeping the soil rich and healthy so new flowers can bloom. Without that regular watering, the garden becomes dry and unproductive. But just a little movement every day keeps the brain fertile and ready to grow. And let's not forget, exercise doesn't only strengthen memory, it also improves mood. Many people over 60 experience bouts of stress or worry, and stress is one of the biggest enemies of memory. Physical activity helps lower those stress hormones, clearing away the mental fog and leaving you feeling lighter and more alert. So the next time you're debating whether to take that walk, remember, you're not just helping your body, you're protecting your memory too. Now, let's tie this together. So far, we've talked about stimulating your brain with new challenges, feeding it with nourishing foods, staying socially connected, and moving your body. These habits may sound simple, but together they create a powerful shield against memory decline. And there's still one more daily habit we haven't touched on yet, one that often gets overlooked, but is absolutely essential for keeping your mind sharp and your memory clear. The final daily habit for protecting your memory after 60 is something so simple, yet so often underestimated: getting enough quality sleep. Think about how you feel after a night of tossing and turning. The next day feels foggy, your focus is scattered, and even the simplest tasks seem harder than usual. That's because sleep isn't just about rest, it's the time when your brain organizes and stores the information you've taken in during the day. It's almost like your brain is a filing cabinet, and while you sleep, it carefully sorts, labels, and tucks away all the experiences and knowledge you've gathered. Without good sleep, those files get left in a messy pile, and the next day it's harder to find what you need. For many people, sleep becomes trickier with age. Maybe you wake up more often in the night, or find yourself getting up earlier than you used to. But improving sleep quality doesn't always mean more hours, it means deeper, more restorative rest. Creating a simple bedtime routine can make a huge difference. That might be turning off screens an hour before bed, sipping a cup of herbal tea, dimming the lights, or reading something calming. Even practicing a few minutes of slow breathing before lying down can signal to your brain that it's time to shut down and recharge. And here's a tip you might find helpful: try to wake up and go to bed at the same time every day, even on weekends. Your brain loves routine, it's almost like training your memory to know when to be alert and when to rest. Over time, this steady rhythm helps your sleep become deeper and more refreshing, which in turn strengthens your memory. Now let's step back for a moment. We've covered quite a journey together. From giving your brain new challenges, to feeding it the right nutrients, staying socially connected, moving your body, and finally, honoring your need for sleep, these 5 habits create a strong foundation for memory health after 60. Each one is simple on its own, but when you put them together, they become a powerful daily ritual that can keep your mind sharp, clear, and full of life. But here's the beautiful part: it's never too late to start. Whether you're 60, 70, or even 80 and beyond, your brain is always capable of growth and renewal. Science has shown that our brains can form new connections at any age. That means every crossword puzzle, every walk, every conversation, every healthy meal, and every good night's sleep you give yourself is an investment in a brighter, sharper tomorrow. And remember, it doesn't have to be overwhelming. Don't feel like you have to change everything at once. Start small. Pick one habit that feels easiest to you right now. Maybe it's adding a short walk to your day, or calling a friend you haven't spoken to in a while. Once that becomes part of your routine, add another. Step by step, these little changes grow into a lifestyle that protects your memory and keeps your independence strong. I want you to think about this: your mind is one of the greatest treasures you have. It holds your memories, your experiences, your wisdom, and your joy. By taking care of it every day, you're not just protecting your memory, you're protecting the stories of your life, the lessons you've learned, and the moments you'll continue to create. So as you move forward, I encourage you to treat your brain with the same care you'd give to a beloved friend. Challenge it, nourish it, connect it, move it, and let it rest. These habits are more than just routines, they're acts of self-love that will reward you for years to come. If you found this video helpful, I'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts in the comments. What's one habit you already practice, or one you're inspired to start today? And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more tips on living your best, healthiest, and happiest life after 60. Here's to a future where your mind stays as strong as your spirit, and your memory remains a treasure chest of all the beautiful moments you've lived and the ones still waiting for you.